Okay, alright. Oh, Zaina. You're not late. You beat me. You beat me to the stream. Welcome to Morning Medley number 140. Sorry, 154. Hmm. Sorry about that. Okay. Welcome to Morning Medley number 154. Hello, Sam. Hello, Liana. Hello, Zaina. It's Wednesday. Street sweeping day. But the street sweep already passed, so I think we're in the clear. No noise. There should be no noise in the stream today. Gonna start with Spring Street. Gonna make that the regular starting song now. Hello, Maddie. Hey, this is good news, I think. Yeah, I hope everything continues along that trend, Liana. Hello, Ava. Good morning. the shirt compliment. I bought this shirt from Japan. From a place called Village Vanguard. Village Vanguard is where I find the Gazanzi. Oh, why not? Yeah, that's right. We talked about this before. I love that store. I also bought a Oswald hoodie from there. Where is that Oswald hoodie? I'm sure maybe it's hanging up or something. I guess it's just not hoodie season. I hope it is in my closet somewhere. Good morning, Darius. That song is called Spring Street. Good morning, Deb. Welcome to the stream. If you're just joining the stream or you come into the streams pretty often but you enjoy them, please remember to like the video. It helps me. This song's called French Lavender. I have a music video for it actually on my YouTube from when I went up into the mountains here where it was snowing. Thanks, Jordan. You know, while making that video, Jordan, I understood how so many people die in the snow. Like, I understand how you can get lost in the snow, and I understand how you can get, like, split up from a group in the snow. I understand how people died in the snow. It's incredibly quiet. It like dampens a lot of sounds. Sometimes in like a snowstorm, you can't even hear the person standing right next to you. It's weird. But thank you again for watching that snowy video. Thanks, Deb. Yeah, I would. I mean, obviously, snow happens a lot of places in the world, and I feel like that I might be in maybe the minority of people that have never at least experienced a snowstorm before, up until that point. But I would say being in a snowstorm, if you have never been in one, is a really, really good exercise in powerlessness. I don't know, like the it's so rare, especially me living in Los Angeles. I mean, there's an earthquake every now and then, but I mean, not any really truly devastating ones in a long time. So I'm very rarely put in the face of like a force of nature that just really has no, regard for human life, and is like super super powerful. And being in a snowstorm was the closest I had come to that, maybe ever. Just seeing something that was just making my life very very difficult, and there didn't seem to be any end in sight. Really weird. Um, yeah. Sure. There's like a tiny fly, like one of the really really tiny zoomers, and it is killing me. And so I want to open my window to possibly let him out, but then I could also just let more in. I don't know. Hopefully he leaves though. Good morning to you, Rose. I've never been in the midst of a tornado, Sam. Okay, Rose. How are you doing? You're welcome, Jordan. Jordan requested that I play Union Station, and there it is. Hmm. I'm vibing, says Rose. Yesterday I looked back on old elementary photos and it felt nice. Can't wait to go on another adventure back in time one day. Wow, what a pleasant comment. Wow, that's cool. I'm glad. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. Can I remix your song Gucci, says Brian Mendoza? You can do whatever you want, Brian Mendoza. I guess credit me as the original artist, but go ahead and remix away. I mean, technically, the song Gucci is a remix of another song, you know? So. Have at it. Gucci, in case you didn't know, Brian, is a remix of the song Gucci Gang by Lil Pump. And I simply took off the vocals and released all the music I made as its own original song. Now, if you would like to recontextualize those chords for something else, go for it. I will not be supplying you with stems, however, if that's what you're asking. But, you know, if you want to remix it by ear, how I do all my remixes, then, you know, I can't stop you. Hello, Panella Leo. Gucci was how I found you. We're up. Welcome, Panella Leo. This next song is still kind of in progress, but it's tentatively titled by Lindsay Liminality. Omni, I think that's the fastest you've been through a smoothie on stream. Okay, all right. Yeah, usually I don't even finish it. Usually I get maybe about down to this point after about an hour into the stream. But yeah, I don't know. I was really hungry this morning. Afro Addy is in here. I haven't seen you in a hot minute. Good morning and welcome back to the stream. Afro, you were dearly missed. I found Omni on Spotify, says Rose. Hmm. I think the first song I heard was Bon Bon. Thought it was adorable and needed to find more of his songs. Oh, thank you, Rose. Thank you, Rose. I appreciate that. Oh man. A butterfly almost flew in my window and I freaked out a little bit. That's not where I want to go. Um, Good morning, girl. Oh, how fitting. Um, because it's smoothie. Hello, CL. I don't know if I properly greeted you in the stream yet. Mm. This song's called Around the Pond. Lyrics to Bon Bon. What are the lyrics to Bon Bon? Soothsayer. How come I never put it on Genius? Here's where things can get kind of eerie. Is oh, I guess you're right. I guess you're right, Liana. You know whose voice that is? a YouTube video of her talking about the girls are dead the whole time theory for My Neighbor Totoro, and she was going over like fan theories of Totoro, and then at the point where she starts talking about like, oh, the mother's been dead and the kids are gonna die or they die halfway through the story. She was like, here's where things get kind of eerie. The little girl is actually supposed to be dead from the very beginning. That's a Sachi quote. Yeah, I think it's Sachie. I think I could be wrong. We were friends back then. What happened to our sweet, sweet friendship? Sachi, Sachi. What happened to our friendship? Ooh, hold on. What was that? What was that? No, no, it's nothing. It was absolutely nothing. So yesterday I had this corporation. I was working on music, and the corporation goes. Actually, let me do it with strings. It might hit harder there. But you can just imagine like a drum and bass pattern underneath that. Hello, symphonic. Welcome back to the stream. If you could imagine, Ami is always friends with all the cute girls. There's no good answer to that question. I mean, comment. Because what I was gonna say is Sachi one of the cute girls? But then this sounds like I'm insulting Sachi by implying that Sachi isn't cute. But did you get her permission, or did you just use it? No, I got her permission. We were friends. I mean, okay, actually, let me back up off that. I do need to say that I got her permission, because if I did, and saying that we're friends could also mean that I just, used it because we were homies. No, I asked. Also, quick reminder, if you're in the stream and you enjoy the stream, please remember to like the video. It helps me a lot. I think, here's the thing, Cyber. The thing is here. Want to know what it is? Let's open it up and find out. The thing is, at the time, I was playing a lot of anime conventions. And the friends that I was making at anime conventions were only artists. Because I would just walk around the hall, artists and cosplayers. And weeby artists and cosplayers. There's a Venn diagram there, by the way. Sometimes people are both. But they just tend to be cute, I guess. I don't know. That's interesting. I've actually never thought about that. Anyways, she's Canadian. Nobody asked, but she's Canadian. And I only get to see her, she usually comes into town for Anime Expo. Oh my god, he's invincible. Anyways. Oh no, a real one got in. Oh, my prediction was correct. Okay, he left. Anyways, yeah, she would come into town for Anime Expo, and she has like a really close friend who I'm also pretty good friends with, who lives on my block. So usually when she's in town, she stays with her. And then, who cares? No one's asking me all this. Anyway, so the chord progression that I was coming up with, Lindsay's here. The chord progression that I was coming up with yesterday was an offshoot of Fruity Loops' version of Liminality. I don't particularly love the... Oh, crap. Oh, crap. What is that? What's that? Oh. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm in my mind palace. Trying to figure out what the. There was a chord progression that ended here, which was beautiful yesterday. Hold on. No, don't hold on. I can use my brain. The one went here. It was the liminality chord progression because one went here, I think. It was like. It was like. And then it went down to. No, it didn't. Hold on. Yeah, it went down there. I ended with strings. I was like, that's not a string. I was like, something's off. I made 3 songs, or I made 3 structures yesterday. And I want to show you guys those structures today, but I want to wait until I have the OBS stream up so you guys can like hear good sound, whatever that means. But where's that chord come from? Anyway, Cyber says, speaking of spreading the word, I told 2 of my other friends about you, and they're fans now. Oh, thank you, Cyber. Tell your friends thank you, and also thank you to you. Thank you and your friends. That's dope. Sachi is a great name for an SEO because all I'm finding is stuff about her and things she's in. Yeah. Oh, it's a great name for SEO. Yeah. Sachi's great. I was going to. Oh, here's a little tidbit. Sachi was a potential voice actor in Speed Dream, and if I continue with Speed Dream 2, which if I peel back the curtain, peel. If I pull back the curtain on Speed Dream for a second, guys, one of the main reasons why Speed Dream is such a nightmare to me, as the creator and the distributor of it, is because there are a lot of people involved. Goodbye, Rose. Thank you for being on the stream, even though it was only for a brief moment. I appreciate you. The reason that Speed Dream is such a nightmare is because there's so many people involved. And if I go on with Speed Dream Volume 2, for example, Speed Dream Season 2 and Season 3 and whatnot, the problem there lies in consistency. I'm somebody that I love consistency when it comes to narrative. I don't really care about consistency when it comes to style of music, as you guys could probably tell if you listen to at least 3 albums I've made. They're not very consistent as far as the genres I'm choosing to go down and explore. But narrative consistency is very important for me. This is a reason why Marvel was really hard for me to get into. You're changing writers way too often. Things are inconsistent. There's a lot of plot holes. There's a lot of retcons. I don't really want to do that. However, a lot of the voice actors from the first one, I would say I'm not like super cool with anymore. You know, we've grown and gone in different ways, or maybe they just quit music altogether and they don't want to do voice acting anymore. And it's like, crap, do I have to dig up all these old people and then when I want to put it out on something? It's a logistic nightmare that I'll admit I had little foresight in. I didn't foresee that being an issue. So that's what's making Speed Dream 2 forever. It's like, ugh, these people, these characters, what am I going to do? I gotta open up the script because I have the script for season 2 and season 3. Maybe I'll reread it. Maybe I'll see what I can do. I never thought about this, but like, what a headache it would be. You know, all those people that were in movies or TV shows, and like the new season is coming out or the sequel's coming out, and they just don't have the original actor, whether because of like budget or because of creative differences or because the actor died or something, and then they have to replace the actor. It's like all of us as fans are like, boo, why is the Hulk a different person? I miss the old Bruce Banner. But it's like, you know, some of these things are outside of our control, and we wanted to get another Hulk movie, right? Right? Um, anyway, Sachi was almost the voice of a character in season 1. I may ask her again if she's still down to be a character in season 2. That's why they have contracts and stuff. Indeed. You're not wrong. I can't remember what chord progression ended up there. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I should record it so I won't forget it. But I didn't record it, and now I've forgotten it. That can't be right. I refuse to believe that that's right. I know I said I wouldn't do the live thing, but my brain is going to fall apart if I can't remember this specific chord progression that that I was making. All I remember is the first phrase ended on here, and the second phrase ended going. Oh, I think I figured it out. No, I didn't. Oh yeah, I did. Oh, I figured it. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Huh. Okay, all right. My brain does work, as it were. So the chord progression goes. No, I love those chords. However, I don't love the melody of. I don't love. Oh, I can't play with one hand. All right. Because that melody feels extremely typical of that chord progression. I think I've heard that specific melody like at least 3 times in that chord progression in different songs. And so as much as I like these chords, I can't use the melody of. Can't use that melody. I would like to come up with a different melody for those same chords. I saw your Speed Dream folders. Ooh, yeah. I mean, that's the rough thing, right? That's also another thing about OBS streams. Because when I go into OBS, if I'm going to be doing OBS streams where it's like capturing my computer screen cyber, it's going to people will, if they can read, be able to see all of my unreleased like folders of songs, things that will never come out, things that have already come out, things that I've written for other artists that maybe they don't know I have. So I would have to go through and like rename all that stuff so that people can't figure out what's going on. But as far as the Speed Dream stuff, I'm not too secretive about where it was in its production. But I'll finish the rest of your comments. Cyber goes on to say, I saw your Speed Dream folders last time you pointed the camera at your monitor, so I see you're working on something. Oh, those are all old. Yeah, like, there's a lot of Speed Dream stuff. As I've stated before about Speed Dream, like, I've made a bunch of stuff for Speed Dream. There's, like, stuff from Speed Dream Season 1 that was deleted that I have on my... Not deleted, but wasn't released that I have on my computer. Like, think of it as, like, a deleted scene from a movie. There's also stuff for a Speed Dream sequel. There was stuff for a Speed Dream prequel. There was like a lot of stuff for Speed Dream. It's just the only reason it didn't end up coming out is because it's not just me. The Speed Dream team, the Speed Team Dream team, the Speed Dream team is like 10-ish people. And so I can make all the music I want. I can make like 600 Speed Dream tracks, but unless I can get all those other people like on board and like recording their lines and doing stuff like that, it can't happen. It can't happen. To be honest, that sounds like a good idea. Lindsay said I was the lost Ramona trying to figure out who Sachi was. Yeah, Sachi's great. Sachi's a good one. To be fair, there's lots of samples in Bon Bon, but the Sachi one stands out the most to me. Sachi's sample in Bon Bon might stand out the most because it is one of the only, if not the only, sample that plays while the music cuts out. There isn't a lot happening in the background of Sachi's vocal coming in. Also, since Sachi is a professional YouTuber, Sachi's voice comes in really clear in a lot of her videos, so it was one of the cleanest samples I have. Also, it was one of the few samples that was in English. But yeah. I also sample Sachi in Bubbles. And you know in the song Bumblebee and the bridge where there's like a voice that goes Bubbles. That's Sachi's voice. I gotta message her. I'm sure we're cool. It's just, a lot's been going on. And so we haven't really been talking, but she's good. Hello, Honey Fonz. What a cool name. Hi, Honey Fonz. I don't even remember the sound of a lot of my own samples, to be fair, Liana. Like, when I listen to my own music, I know when the samples are coming in. Just kind of like knowing all the lyrics to a Kanye song and not being able to recite it without the music behind you and his voice going on. Like, there are a lot of samples, especially for Nice Dream, that were either my friends, my aspiring voice actor friends, I've dreamed of animating Speed Dream, says Penelo Leo. Yeah, I thought about having animation for Speed Dream quite a few times. It only became like a realistic desire after people did that animation jam to the song Sugar Glider. There's like a music video for Sugar Glider where it's like a bunch of animators like animate like a few seconds each. And I was like, crap. I could potentially commission animation for a song. But yeah, whatever. I've got a lot on my plate. CXY is here. Hello. CXY is here for this. By this, I hope you mean me. Hi, CXY. How's your day going? Good, I hope. Good, I hope. This song is called Double Lips. It was named by Liana in the stream, which is a ice skating maneuver. What is that? What rhythm is that? Anybody on the stream? songs in waltz, which is that, which is different than waltz on the upbeat. I'm thinking of like Central America when I hear it though, for some reason, Sam. Hi, Ninja Rick. Oh, that's sick. Sorry, I was in the middle of a song. Maybe, you know. Might be a Latin beat. Yeah. Sounds Latin. Just not sure. I probably noticed when songs are different because I just whistle along from memory. Wow, I don't know how to whistle. That sounds very fun. Listening to Omni brings back so many memories about 4 years coming into your screams. Aw, appreciate your interact. Oh, I think it was part of Dumb Drunk, like the bridge part of it. Well, okay, so that is in the that is the rhythm in Dumb Drunk. Yes. Um, or the rhythm in Drum Drunk is. Yeah, that's a. Dumb Drunk's funny. That's the rhythm in Dumb Drunk. But close, but it's not the same. I wish I could whistle. My biggest flaw, to be honest. If your biggest flaw is not being able to whistle, wow. I wish that was my biggest flaw. You know, the Dumb Drunk is hilarious. I would say that Dumb Drunk is maybe one of not the most interesting songs on Less Stream. There's so many songs on Less Stream, but like maybe the least like me song on Less Stream. The second half of that song just goes a direction that it was because that week I think I was listening. You know that song Beeper? You know that song Beeper? Oh, I love that song, by the way. But the song "Oh Beeper" was stuck in my head, and I like the idea of just having like just one note. Oh, I love that song. Anyways, listen to "Dumb Drunk" by me if you haven't before. It's fun. Wish I had a sense of rhythm like Omni. I don't have rhythm. Symphonic drums. Actually, you probably do. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you do. What is my sense of rhythm? What do you think my sense of rhythm is? Thank you, Crow, for saying Dumb Drunk slaps. Okay. I played Union Station, alright? School bus, school bus. Oh, that's not school bus. Beeper by the Baby? No, 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 no. No, L Beeper. It's pretty. It's pretty old. It's an older song. I think that my rhythm, symphonic, since you bring it up, kind of lives and dies currently, you know. Who knows what the future will bring, but it kind of lives and dies currently in either which is kind of like a very, very jazzy, or it's like, I don't know, like a swingy, like the that's the love letters. I don't know exactly what it is. It's like a micro shifting of the notes instead of playing. I don't know what that is. Anyways, that's like my one rhythm, and then my other rhythm is the waltz, which I put in a lot of stuff. Over and Under has that. Also, Love Letters, which I was just playing, has it. Also, this song. Those are like the two rhythms I think I have. That's kind of it. And then I have like that long, flowy, like classical stuff, but I feel like that's the absence of rhythm. I feel like this. It's like not even a rhythm. It's just trash. And then that one, the Beneath the City. It's in that song. It's in Spring Street. It's in I mean, that's using a lot of my songs actually. That specific rhythm is using a lot of songs. I don't know. I wish I had more rhythms. Maybe more Latin ones. That's one. That's more of like a bossa nova rhythm though, because I did that in "I Miss You." If you've heard that song, "I Miss You." Yeah, it's more of a bossa nova rhythm. I listened to a lot of bossa nova like the second half of my high school career, I guess is what you call it, high school years. Um, so even though I don't listen to a lot of bossa nova now, that specific, because there are several bossa nova rhythms, but that specific one, that's very very stuck in me, and so sometimes I'll fall into it. I'll fall into it. When I was doing Easy Go, that was supposed to be the original rhythm of it. Before I just put on guitar sounds, like what it eventually sounded like was just. Okay, so maybe not in that song, but the original, like I'm saying, when I was arranging it, that was the rhythm of it. It's- Okay, anyways, Crow says, record that. Record what? That is recorded. Wait, record what? That chord progression is from Easy Go. Crow. If you're talking about the chord progression is from Easy Go, which is recorded, and it exists on my YouTube channel under the title Easy Go. What did you think of, Lindsay? Dad whistle. Well, I wasn't paying attention to the chat too much. Now I'm lost. Penella says I listen to Easy Go a lot now. Absolute gem. Thanks, Penella. I appreciate that. The original guitar for Easy Go. It wasn't guitar. I hear what you're saying, Crow. Like the chord progression. That I can't record, or I can record. I can record anything, but there would be no point in recording that, Crow, because that is a song already. Easy Go. Like if I just recorded that, it would be like a recontextualized chord progression from a song that already exists, which like I can't release that anywhere. Like that's not what we do here. I'm glad you like that though. Do you like the song Easy Go? Do you like that song? Or are you like, ugh, hate that song? But then you heard this and you're like, oh, I wish it was recorded with this rhythm. I wonder how Vanilla would sound in Bossa Nova style rhythm. It'll make it even more perfect, me song in Rhodes. I think I've played it in Rhodes a few times, but I don't. I have played. Wait, hold on. I have played it in Bossa Nova rhythm, Lindsay. However, yeah, I have played it in Bossa Nova rhythm. It might sound familiar when I do it. that sentiment, Symphonic, but fame is not awarded for talent. There is almost zero correlation between the two. But thank you for saying that, Symphonic. That is high praise from you. I've never seen Sharp in the stream. Their profile image is very colorful, though. It's very pretty from this distance. I'm trying to go outside of the box, but I realize the box is my life. I'm trying to go outside the box with music composition, but I've built my music composition around harmony and chords. I was listening to that data list, the new data list release, and I was like, this is completely unbound by tonal restrictions, i.e. harmony. And I would venture to say every song I've ever made, its backbone is harmony. Even if it has really strong percussion or whatever, its backbone really is harmony. If I'm making a song with somebody else, I feel like they'll come in and they'll do all the drums and stuff like that, they'll sing. And then when I come in, my first thing is like, if they're singing, I'm already like on the keyboard, like trying to find like harmony to give context to melodies and stuff like that. And I feel like there are some artists who not only do not prioritize harmony, but some artists who don't incorporate harmony whatsoever in their music. And a lot of times I end up liking the music anyway, and it's just like, how do I get to that point? I have to like break my brain. I have to approach music very different, which is like, obviously somebody that has this many keyboards, it's hard to do away with harmony because that's basically what a piano is. It's a harmony machine. Oh, boy, 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 boy. Which is why the dog remix of Hush Hour drives him crazy, says Cyber. Yeah, because there is no harmony in it. It's just, I guess, timbre and rhythm, I'm gonna venture to say. That's a stretch. Thank you for the melody, says Adventure Boy 22. Adventure Boy 22. Thank you for the melodies. Remember that one? Remember thanks for the memories, even if they weren't so great. He tastes like you've been sweet. Yo, screw Fall Out Boy lyrics. They were trash, and I mean that with love. I was a Fall Out Boy fan, but Jesus Christ, those lyrics, freaking nonsense, right? The dog remix of Hush Hour will never happen again. That was an atrocity. That was an atrocity. Who wanted me to do that? Who was the one that requested that? We miss you, Kid James. I can't play the song because you're not here, but I appreciate you wherever you are. The chord progression goes bing, bong, bing, bing. I just need a chord. I love that chord progression, but I need a melody that doesn't go. Da, 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 screw that melody. Honestly, screw that melody. It's so low-hanging fruit. It's on the ground. It has fallen from the tree. It's rotting in the grass. Is what that melody is. Screw that melody. I need a new one, and I will make one. It'll just take me some time. Easy Door says, I'm here. I'm not in the chat, but I'm here drawing. Can I ask 78 downtown? You can't ask for 78 downtown. This is weird, but I rarely go to YouTube for my Bossa Nova needs, but the up next video is Seaside Bossa Jazz, Summer Bossa Nova Jazz playlist. That's pretty funny. That's a bit unsettling considering we just talked about the bossa rhythm. It knows. It knows. Trust it. Trust in the algorithm, Lindsay. Let it take you. We're all one with the algorithm. That's another rhythm that I have. I mean, but it's the same thing as da 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 da. See that? Yeah, I have only a few rhythms, and now that I'm being forced to identify them, they crop up pretty much everywhere. Bum, 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 bum. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-ba. Sorry. Anyways, easy to rewind 70 downtown. Now, when you said that learning salsa basically to find a sense of confidence forever, it's not, it's no wonder. It's no wonder that so many of his songs have Latino musical roots and inspiration. Apt assessment, apt analysis, Cyber. I think. Here's what I think. You want to know what I think? You don't. It's also so difficult to learn. As far as a dance, I would say okay. I'm not gonna disagree with you. I don't think that's difficult to learn, but I understand we're all different. And I think when I was young, if I'm being completely transparent is the word. I am black. I don't wanna scare anybody in the stream. There are a lot of people that don't know that, by the way. There are a lot of people that are like on Spotify, like, and they're like listening to Bon Bon or whatever. They're like, oh, this is sick. These sweet, sweet kawaii tunes. And they're looking at some like art of like a cute anime girl with like bubblegum ice cream hair, and it's like, this is the sickest. I love it. Amazing. And then they'll see like a video of me, or they'll meet me, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, had no idea. Had no idea you were black. I'm so sorry." And and then I started thinking like, "Yeah, I guess I get it. I guess I get it. There's nothing. I mean, at least my earlier music isn't particularly informed. Like you couldn't make a very accurate assumption from Sugar Glider to go, yeah, definitely a black man. So, with that behind us, I feel like we're all caught up. Jazz music is inherently black. We don't need to talk about why. If you don't know, I'm so sorry. Please read a book. But jazz music is black. I, as a kid, did not particularly like jazz music. That isn't to say that I didn't like black music. I was a big fan of like R&B, which was an offshoot of jazz, and it's in its own way. A lot of gospel music. I think I listened to as a kid. I had a very religious family for a little while anyway. Um, hmm, yeah. I was listening to a lot of black music, but for whatever reason, jazz, for a lot of reasons that we can actually get into, but we won't. Jazz was not accessible to me mentally. Like my brain couldn't really handle what was going on, especially when we got into the bebop territory. Sure, jazz standards, which by the way, I've got to admit, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of jazz standards. But let's move on. A lot of like bebop jazz was like too much for me, so I was like, I don't really want to listen to it. I don't get it. In the same way that like math rock would have been too much for me at that age. And then I remember hearing. I mean, a lot of bossa nova standards have become so. They like have permeated American culture. Like nobody doesn't know "Girl from Ipanema." Even if you don't know "Girl from Ipanema" from me saying the title of it right now, if I played "Girl from Ipanema," you'd go, "Oh yeah, the one bossa nova song that's in every like American film that wants to showcase a bossa nova track or like a Brazilian feel or I don't know." Some South or Central American comes onto the scene and then they just play "Girl from Ipanema" because that's it. Hi, Kid James. Hey, I talked about you early in the stream. I sent you love, and somehow through the cosmos, it reached you in your slumber. So that's really cool. Um, I'm glad that you were able to sleep in. By the way, Kid James. I hope that the rest serves you well. Math rock is the coolest. All right, I agree with you there. But I'm just going to say I wasn't a big jazz head. Not to say I wasn't a fan of it. I just didn't listen to a lot of it. However, like every other person in the world, I heard "Girl from Ipanema," and I think I heard that one song, the like, oh, adia, oh, what is that one? What's that one called? You guys don't know. I mean, Isidora actually might know. Oh, adia, somebody in this stream knows that song. Mosh Kanata, thank you, Isidora. It doesn't hurt to be right. It doesn't hurt to be right. I knew Isidora was gonna know that song. I mean, also Maddie knew that song. No disrespect to Maddie. Thank you, Maddie. Mas que nada. Some other words in Portuguese. I feel like that song also reached me at that age, and I was like, I need to figure out more. I need to find more of this music. And then once I found out that there was a name for this type of music, bossa nova. I was like, oh crap, nothing can stop me now. And I just like, if I'm being frank, I just went to a local record store, which was called Zia Records at the time, and I was like, do you have any bossa nova? And the guy was like, yeah, I think so. And they took me to a section that was literally like, you know how they have the little drawers or whatever, the little shelf aisles for CDs. I think the bossa nova section was like this thick. It was like that many CDs back to back. It wasn't very big at all, and they were all really cheap because they were used. They were like, $3, $4, $2. So I just bought like five of them, and then went home and listened to them, and it was all just bossa nova standards. And I got like really into that. That was like my intro, I believe, into what ended up being a jazz fanhood. I don't know, a jazz appreciation. I got into bossa nova and I was like, oh, this is really cool. And then more like aggressive bossa nova. And then I got into Bebel Gilberto, which was more modern bossa nova. And then I started hearing jazz again, but I was able to hear jazz through like a little bit of a different lens because I was like, oh, I get it now. I get it. Because a lot of bossa nova tracks come arguably close to bebop. Anyways, I don't know why I'm talking about this. Oh, because Cyber was saying, yeah, a lot of my songs have more of a Latin feel, and connecting that to my confidence in salsa. I think that one of the main reasons that I do like salsa dancing is because the music backing it is salsa music, and I just inherently enjoy moving to salsa music more than I like moving to swing music. If you throw on a swing band or even like some like rockabilly or something like that, I'm gonna enjoy the music for what it is. But something about, I don't know, Latin music has, I mean, it's ranch dressing and it's hot sauce. It's ranch dressing and it's hot sauce. It's like I understand that both of them have their place, and I have enjoyed both. Sure, but I would say that I've consumed, gallons of hot sauce in my life, and not so much ranch. Anyways, you're late again. It's okay. The stream started an hour and a half ago, but I understand. We all can't be here at the same time. That would be chaos, wouldn't it? Dar says the musical equivalent of black hair care section at Target. Aye. Yes. I can't get my black goods at Target. I made that mistake once. Never again. Why do I vaguely remember you saying you wanted to get arrested in Chile or something on me? Wow, you have a really good memory. Does no one else remember this? I remember this. I said it. It came out of my mouth. But yeah, nobody else probably does remember that. Anyways, I love the guitar sound so much. Oh, and like and bossa nova stuff. But yeah, that was the first. Song I did. Bossa nova rhythm. The first song that I did bossa nova rhythm was for the alternative recording of "I Miss You." Because that chord progression was something that when I played it. By the way, I found that chord progression on accident. And now I've kind of thrown in a lot of music. You can hear it in Groomscape. You can hear it in Kiwi. It's in a lot of my music, but the first time that I did it was for the song "I Miss You." And when I heard that chord progression, I was like, that chord progression sounds like bossa nova. And I think that I was able to stumble upon that chord progression, which this is a very jazz chord progression, but the reason I was able to stumble upon it is because of all the years listening to bossa nova. I don't have to tell you guys that most artists, if not all artists, I just don't want to say all because, there's always somebody, but most artists, if you just if you just kind of like immerse yourself in any type of thing, anything for a very long time, your brain will kind of just start looking for it when it's not around. I could go into a lot of different analogies of how this works, but I hope you guys, it makes sense. Your brain just gets used to something and then you look for it when it's gone. If I listen to a lot of bossa nova, the bossa nova is gone and now I'm playing keyboard and I hit one chord that sounds like, oh, I think I've heard that in bossa nova. My brain will automatically start looking for where the next chord is. And once I finally go like, oh yeah, that sounds good. But the only reason I think that sounds good and the only reason I was looking for it to begin with is because I listened to years and years of bossa nova. I was like a teenager. And so, yeah, a lot of that does come out in me. And part of me wanted to spend more time listening to other music. So even after I kind of did away with bossa nova, like I wasn't listening to it as actively every day for hours a day, I started listening to more bebop jazz. And bebop jazz is where, like, if you listen to Signals, that's where that came from. That was just me listening to, like, a lot of, like, Thelonious Monk and a lot of John Coltrane and a lot of even, like, Dave Brubeck for a few years as well. That was like my morning thing. Like I would wake up in the morning, I would work out, and then when I would go to make my breakfast, which as you guys know, my breakfast isn't small. It takes 30 minutes to an hour to make sometimes. While I'm cooking, I would have there's this thing called DIFM, which is just internet radio station, and one of the stations is just bebop jazz all the time. And I would just listen to bebop jazz while I was cooking. I would listen to bebop jazz while I was writing. I would listen to bebop jazz on headphones sometimes while I was waiting for the bus. It was like in me. And so when it came time to actually write music, the that whole part in Love Letters, this one, I'm sure if I had like an actual jazz musician here and they were looking over my shoulder at what I was doing, I'm sure they could tell me, oh, I know what those are. You're doing this, and that, and that's what this is. And they would explain it in a way that made sense theoretically in music. And I wouldn't get it, right? It would fall on deaf ears if they were telling me. But the point is, those things, I'm sure, are jazz things. And I'm sure the reason that I was able to do them instinctively and create that way is because I was listening to so much bebop jazz that this sounded like music to me. Whereas if I hadn't listened to any jazz and I had played that, I would have been like, oh, there's so many mistakes in there. That's not the way music's supposed to sound. So yeah, if you kind of immerse yourself in something long enough and then you go to create, the things kind of involuntarily will come out of you. Like they just kind of come out of you. And I think that yeah, the whole like bossa nova thing and the like bebop jazz thing is because I consumed a lot of those types of music. Now, if you listen to like Nice Dream, it's like yeah, it sounds like that because I was playing a lot of video games, I was watching a lot of anime, and so the the thing that's hard is, and I would say that in the last 3 years, let me shrink it. In the last 2 years, 2019, 2020, I've consumed a like record low amount of music. I've been consuming so little music. Like I used to listen to music for no exaggeration hours a day, and now I listen to music for a collective maybe 15 minutes a day, 15 30 minutes actively, and it has shown in my music creation, in my music creation, yeah. I feel like I've been looking more within instead of without, which can be fun, but it can, it's just different. Anyway, what a long rambling mess. I'm gonna replay really quickly the newest version of Liminality, and then I'm gonna go into another quick medley. If anybody has any questions or comments, now would be a good time to poke me with them. Um, yes. Dar is recommending that I listen to the what is it, Ruby soundtracks. Hmm. Word up, Dar. I like your persistence. It took Easy Door 2 years to get me to watch City of God, which I did end up loving. So I'm not saying it's gonna take me 2 years to listen to the soundtrack that you're recommending, but I mean, strap in. It might not be very soon. What's the next recommendation, Isidore? It says, Omni, I'm genuinely curious how you were able to stop listening to music as much. Do you not miss hearing artists' albums, tracks you like? Because 15 minutes a day is hardly anything. Do I miss hearing artist tracks you like? No. No, I do not. Um, hmm. No. There's no song right now that I would want to hear. Isn't that weird? I think it's because I spend you you can't. Hmm, hmm. I listen to music differently than I did. That isn't to say I do not enjoy music, Lindsay, but listening to music is very, very rarely a like lay down on the beach feeling for me. Listening to music is more like I'm swimming in the waves feeling. And sometimes when you go to the beach, you don't really want to be in the water fighting the tide. Sometimes you just want to walk along the sand. And being able to walk along the sand is very, very difficult for me and requires a lot of concentration, which in itself is work. So, I hope this analogy isn't too convoluted. When I listen to music, I listen to music extremely actively. I don't listen to it passively. The only way that I can listen to music passively, Lindsay, is by focusing my energy on another thing and having the music play while I don't know, playing video games or riding the subway. However, a lot of these activities, like riding the subway, I don't really like listening to music on the subway. Number one, because it can be dangerous. Number two, I'm not really on the subway that much anymore with the city being in the state that it currently is in. Thing number two is, yeah, I just don't have a lot of those activities that I can do while passively is listening to music because what I dedicate most of my time to every day is making music, right? I can't listen to music during the stream. I can't really listen to music while I'm making music, and so I don't really listen to a lot of music in the same way. When I do listen to music, for example, if Easy Dora is like, you know what, here's a bossa nova album that you should listen to on me, I bet you'll like it. I'm not simply kicking back and listening to this album going like, ooh yeah, jazzy bossa nova feels, I love it. I'm actually listening to the music and trying to dissect chord progressions and rhythms and specific time signatures and like dissect the song to kind of data mine it for things that I can either implement, things that I appreciate, things that I don't understand, things that I do understand, things that I want to understand. It's almost like studying for me. Which again, I wanna make this point clear. It can be fun. I'm not saying that it's all work and no play. In the same way that sometimes studying can be fun, you know? Sometimes playing a fighting game and trying to figure out the character's moves can be a lot of fun. You're still playing a game, but it's a lot different than simply watching a movie or watching somebody play a fighting game. It's different. And so, because of that, no, I don't particularly like miss listening to certain songs by certain artists, or like need to listen to them. Like sometimes I will have like, oh, you know what I want to hear? Blank by blank. I want to hear. I want to hear, I don't know, Momo Land, or or I want to hear Chinese New Year by Igloo Ghost, or I want to hear Tot by Daedalus, or I want to, I'm really in the mood to hear Take Five by Dave Brubeck, or Blue Rondo a la Turk, or something. It's just not very often. And when I do want to hear it, I click play on that song and I go, yeah, 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 yeah. And then the song is over and then I go and do something else with my day. I'm not really the type of person that like puts on a whole, mix of tunes in the background of my day-to-day life. Lindsay follows up by saying that makes sense. I guess I'm interested in the relationship you are making music more versus you listening to music less. Oh, there must have been a time where you were actively making music and still listening to music. Yeah, there was. I would say this was 2015, 16. When I say listening to music, it's hard though, right? Because let me get to the bottom of this, and then I'm gonna address that. Dissonance Experiment, like old hardcore bands, but blast chords. What? For me, it's drawing. So, okay. Hold on. Studying part of your brain is so used to being active when you listen to music, so it's hard to turn it off. Yeah, for sure, Lindsay. Um, A good example of this that I got with my friend. Hold on, pause on that. Sam says working with Daniel has made me think about melody very differently because he started doing very unconventional stuff I didn't expect because he was coming at music fresh without foundation. Yeah, this can be huge. Obviously, changing your approach is different. Like I've talked about writing music on the computer versus writing it on a piano. For example, I have a version of this song. Once I get to this part, I have that on Fruity Loops right now, which I'll show you guys not in this stream, but maybe in a future stream. I have that on Fruity Loops, and it sounds significantly different, harmonically the same, but significantly different. And so the reason it does is because I'm not limited to what my two hands can do, and I'm not limited by the visual representation of a piano, so I can do whatever I want. Essentially, having a different approach to music can be very, very cool because you come up with more interesting things, as Sam says. Um, the thing is, because Maddie said that it does make sense. The thing is, people, a lot of people I know that aren't, and I'm not gonna even just say aren't musicians, but a lot of people that I know that don't have the same disposition with music that I do, as far as like making hundreds of songs and just like spitting out. A lot of those people have a different relationship with music where it is still very passively entertaining, in the same way that I can look at TV shows, movies, animation, and be like, "Ah, this is fine, ha ha ha," and I can laugh. But then my animator friend next to me might be like, "Oh, I don't really like the animation in this show," or they might say like, "Oh, I love the animation in this show," but everything that they're saying is like, it's nothing to me because I'm just watching. I just want to know if Goku's gonna do it this time. But they're talking about animations here, or like, oh, the frame drops right here, or like, oh, there's actually no animation, and like for the past 20 seconds these have all just been panning shots and still frames. I'm like, I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that homie's mouth wasn't moving. And so I think just being really, really, truly immersed in something, sometimes it can be hard to just listen to the thing. Um, Sometimes it can be really hard to just listen to the thing. I talked about this with a friend too, where sometimes it's hard to listen to your peers' music and not feel threatened is not the right word, but not feel like, God, what is that feeling? Like if I had a friend, if I even had a friend, if I had a friend, they let me listen to their music. If Sky sends me a song online messenger after the stream ends and I click it and I open up the SoundCloud link and I listen to the song, there is a significant part of my brain that's like, this is a good song, sick, good job, Sky. But there is another whole part of my brain that is like hearing my own music, seeing my own limitations and my own strengths and weaknesses and going, okay, what can I do? It's almost like a call to action. Listening to any piece of music feels like a call to action. And listening or being called to action for hours a day for me is like not relaxing. Sometimes it can be stressful to listen to music, especially if I have any personal connection with the people that made it whatsoever. It can feel like a call to action. I'm glad that people are understanding what I'm saying, a few people in the stream. I feel that working on print production for books ruined looking at books for me from a quality perspective, right? And like, one could argue that the quality of a book has nothing to do with the book's content. But I feel you on that. Yeah, it's hard. But yeah, I would say that in the past 12 months, I've listened to the record least amount of music. If somebody said, Omni, right now, how many albums have you listened to? Like, what albums did you listen to this year? I think I can only name past 12 months? Was Igor in the past 12 months? I feel like that was actually further back than 12 months ago. I feel like that was further back. Anyways, I would say 6 albums. I've listened to like 5, 6 albums in the past 12 months, which is wild because that's like an album every other month. And keep in mind, when I listen to an album, I do like I'll listen to it once, maybe twice, and then I'm like, oh, that was pretty good. And then I'll go back and I'll listen to it again, maybe a week, and then I'll pick out like a few songs that really stood out to me, and I'll listen, 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 and then then I kind of move on. Um, Now, this isn't particularly true to just my whole life. A lot of times, kind of like a dad rock head. You go back and listen to the things that really shaped you as a person. There are some songs and albums that I'll still go back or have reference for more so than anything that comes out, maybe in present day. It's interesting. Um, just a different relationship to have with music. Uh, I can't chill. I can't chill while doing it usually. I have that sometimes, says Maddie, when reading comics, where I'm in that studying mindset instead of just passively enjoying the content. Yeah, you're just trying to consume. You're trying to consume and not necessarily like enjoy. And I want to say, a big part of that though has to do with my cone of my cone of influence, but also my cone of creation. Cone of creation. Jesus Christ. Uh, my cone of creation, where it's like when I first started making music, I was making chiptune. Some of you will remember this. I'm joking. None of you guys will remember this because you guys weren't around. But like when I first started making music, it was chiptune. And I was making music under Agnes. And when I would listen to something else, when my friend would put on like a pop punk record, I could listen to it and go like, ah ha ha, ah ha ha, this is great. Because in my brain, it had no correlation to what I was making. There was nothing that was happening in this song by May or Mayday Parade or I don't know, Fall Out Boy or Rocket Summer or whatever. There was nothing that they were listening to that connected with what I was making, so I could listen to it freely. There was no call to action because I wasn't in a pop punk band, and then I was in a pop punk band, and all of a sudden now I'm listening to all these pop punk bands both on an indie local level to a huge on Fueled by Ramen or signed to like Interscope level. I was listening to those songs differently. I was like, okay, how can I be better? How can I be like that? Or what can I gain from this? What is that? Oh, what did they do there? I've never heard that. What kind of sound was that? Was that a synthesizer? Maybe we should put synthesizers in our songs. I don't know. It's a call to action. Seeing somebody play Warped Tour, it's like, oh, how can I get on Warped Tour? Is that a thing that we can do? We need to call somebody. Instead of just looking at the Warped Tour performance and going, what great there is to see. And I think as I kept venturing out, it's like, oh, I'm in a reggae band. Now I'm listening to reggae music a little bit different. Now I'm in a synth pop band. Now I'm even looking and hearing synths a little bit differently. Now I'm DJing. Now I'm looking and hearing DJs. It's because of how the cone keeps getting bigger and bigger the longer I spend in music. There's less and less music I can just listen to and go, this is dope. Now there are some songs I can still listen to and it doesn't seem to connect with me. Um, Usually, oh my God, there's an Irish pub. Oh, there's exceptions to every rule, guys. There's an Irish pub, not too close to me actually. To be fair, it's in my neighborhood, but it's gonna take me 25, 30 minutes to walk there. There's a Irish pub and they have Irish folk songs. They have like a band that comes in that plays like traditional Irish folk songs. They're amazing. The music's amazing. The performers are amazing. And I'm truly able to just sit back and listen to this music and really appreciate it in a passive way. Because I'm like, oh, I love this. I can appreciate everything and it doesn't feel like a call to action. It doesn't feel like I need to do anything. Country music, Lindsay says the only thing that's left is country, but country is not left. When I hear country, it is a call to action. Because country has a lot of harmony in it. I don't need to tell you this. I don't need to tell you that like freaking Lost Lonely Boys or Rascal Flatts are like, I don't know, country Beach Boys when it comes to harmony. And sometimes listening to country music, if it is rich in harmony, not all of it is, if it is really rich in harmony, I hear the harmony and I go, why am I not doing that? If you listen to a lot of my music, I didn't start using harmony until Ego Death Quick Breath. It was literally one melody line that I could sing. There was no harmonies ever put on my vocals. And then I started putting harmony on like Close Down, or I was putting harmony on like Open Up. So Quick Breath and Ego Death did start having harmony on them, but before then, there was no harmony, and it actually was because of country. I can't remember whose car. It was an Uber. It was an Uber. That's why I can't remember whose car it was because I didn't know the person. And they were like blasting country, and it felt aggressive because they weren't blasting country before I got in. But I got in, things were quiet, and then I said something to them. I think it was like, "Hey, what's up? How's your day going?" and they didn't answer, and they just started playing country really loud. And at first I was like, oh, that's weird. But I was like, oh, country's good. I already knew country was good. Let me back off of that for a second. I already knew country was good because my dad likes country music. Not to throw my dad under the bus or anything. My dad likes country music. But I remember hearing it and going, oh, yeah. Harmonically very rich. Goodbye, kid. Thank you so much for being in the stream, and I appreciate you. I hope you have a good day. But yeah, I realize like country. Yeah, my dad's always my cowboy hat. I realize like, oh, country. The lyrical content isn't great for me, you know. And even the choice of instruments, unless they're throwing like fiddles in and like lap guitars, I do like the sound of a good lap guitar or steel guitar, whatever you want to call it. I do like the sound of a few of their instruments, but generally I don't like the composition of a lot of country acts. But the harmonies that they hit sometimes are like, God dang, what? Excuse me? And that was happening in the songs he was playing. I was like, this is good. But I couldn't ask him like what the tunes were. Steel guitars do sound very good. They are very good. Anywho, that was a long way of saying I don't listen to as much music as I once did, and I would love to. I think I'm going to try to get back into the habit of just like consuming music, because every now and then when I'm on my PlayStation, which some of you know is the only way that I consume my Spotify Discover Weekly is by playing video games. I think I like bluegrass a lot more than country because there's a lot of that fiddle and steel guitar. Oh, love to see it, love to hear it, love to know it exists in the world. And I think there are two things that, as you make music, well, let me not project. As I make music, there's a thing that I have done, which is I've expanded my output and I've expanded my inspiration. Somebody that might listen to something or look at something and go, I can't get inspiration from that. I go, watch me. Who is it that did that? Who is it that had that speech where they were like, all the people that say you can't do that, I say, watch me. It was a woman. I don't remember who it was, but it might have been a TED Talk. Good on her. Anyways, I guess she touched me because that quote's hilarious to me now. So you can't do it while you cook like you used to, says Lindsay. I can listen to music while I cook. I can listen to music while I cook. I choose not to listen to music while I cook now because podcasts exist. And I became a podcast person. So now I listen to podcasts while I cook. If I listen to anything at all. Sometimes it's just nice hearing like sizzle of the food. She definitely didn't mean for it to be funny. She didn't mean for it to be funny. And it wasn't funny at the time. It wasn't funny at the time. The concept behind the words are not funny. The concept are very empowering. And I think even me, who was not the targeted demographic maybe for the speech, was empowered by those words. But something about... That sucks, right? Context is everything. Context is everything. Context is everything. Because if you just take the isolated... If you take the isolated image and video and kind of like sassy voice of a white woman pointing at somebody and said, you say I can't do it? Watch me. Is like very funny to me. But then in the context of the entire speech that she was making, it wasn't funny. But yeah, watch me is funny. Anyone telling somebody to watch them do anything is kind of hilarious. Especially if the other person doesn't really want them to do the thing. But I try to take inspiration from everything. It's like, there's this little bit of a detour, or, like a sidebar, but there's this animation thing called Robot Circus. It's really old animation, and there's no dialogue in it. It's like all music and animation. I saw it the other day, and I was like, I think I'm going to watch that on mute and just soak it in and, like, make music. Maybe have it, like, playing on the screen and, like, play piano and, like, really go for it, because that is how I was able to make Paprika, by looking at the movie Paprika on mute and then just like letting the visuals kind of soak in and trying to put sound to them. And I haven't been that visually inspired by anything since. And then I saw this thing called Robot Circus, and I was like, oh crap, I need to watch this. And I think Robot Circus is free on Amazon Prime, because every time I watch something on Amazon Prime, Robot Circus just starts playing. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. It's like, if you have Amazon Prime, I'm not saying to watch it, but I'm just saying you have access to do so. But I try to take inspiration from everything, and I think if you're putting out as much as I am, and you're intaking as much as I am, after a while, like anything, you just kind of get exhausted, and you're like, okay, I need to like stop the input. I need to like stop things from getting in for a little while, and maybe even like squash the output, which is why I haven't really been putting out as much music for the past 12 months. Tech on Concrete also did that for me. Tech on Concrete. In fact, this is like a weird thing, Liana, but my old laptop, I've only ever owned two. I owned my laptop that started my music career, and then I owned this one that I'm currently using as a monitor. My first laptop and my first and second and third desktop all had the Tech on Concrete like cityscape as my wallpaper. I had it as my wallpaper for so long that somebody came into my room while I was living here. It was Divio. It was Divio, if anybody knows Divio. He came in my room and he was looking at my background. He was like, "What is that?" And I actually couldn't remember because it had been the background of my desktop for so long that I'd actually forgotten the context of it. I kind of just viewed it as this is this piece of art that is like my big inspiration. And then I was looking at it, I was like, I think it's Tech on Concrete. And he was like, I don't know what that is. And I was like, yeah, I guess that's fine. I don't know. It didn't have a great story, but boy, was it visually stunning. Wow. Okay, I agree with you, Lindsay. Cute people are cowards. No, I really do agree with what you're saying, though, Lindsay. I like it when things like look kind of like ugly. This is good. Isidore says, Omni, I will send a couple of movie recommendations. Maybe you'll like them. Maybe I will. I did like the last one you recommended me, so you have earned my trust. As if you didn't have it already. That's fair. But taking in a lot of stuff all the time can be hard. Sometimes it's nice to just shut something out and be like, you know what, I just want to be able to experience this and not be inspired. That's the problem. All music kind of is a little bit inspirational to me, and it would be nice to not be inspired for a change. It would not be nice to just listen to a piece of music and go, this is not inspirational at all. I am not inspired. I just googled Tech on Concrete. I feel like I remember seeing the images from this, but I've never actually watched it. You should definitely watch it, Maddie. But yeah, the images were kind of passed around a lot back in the old Tumblr days. If you were a Tumbly? A Tumblr? Were people called Tumblrs on Tumblr? I think everyone in here would agree that you're pretty brave, says Lindsay. To me? Oh, whoa! I'm dumb as heck. That was a compliment. Lindsay's giving me the teleport compliment. One of the nothing personal kid compliments. One of the compliments that it takes brain power to figure out. Thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate that. I disagree with you wholeheartedly, but I appreciate kind words, even if they're tricks, even if they're little magic tricks. All right, that is why I don't listen to as much music as I used to do. But there's a few things that since I've been making music this long, I've stopped doing. One is I've stopped listening to music as much. Two is I've stopped playing as much. And when I say playing, I don't mean I don't mean playing piano. I mean like goofing around. I mean like scrolling through. I mean, we had a joke the other day when somebody recommended that I play Hush Hour with the dog sound, but I don't know all the sounds in this keyboard. I just don't. I've owned this keyboard for an embarrassingly long amount of time. Actually, get on this keyboard. This keyboard's never had any problems. Wow. I would hug it if I weren't on camera right now, but I think that I don't spend that much time just playing around. That means like scrolling through all the sounds, seeing what's in there, going over to my synthesizer and just like turning knobs, like having fun. Because I used to do that when I didn't know any better. And then once I learned better, I stopped doing it. If that makes sense. Once you know how to do something right, it's hard to experiment and explore anymore because it feels like an inherently unproductive thing to do. It's like, no, I know what a chord is. Why would I not do that? I know what harmony is. Why would I not use that? I know how to play piano. Why would I do something else? Why would I use my elbows? I know how to play well with my hands. I'm trying to reverse some of my habits, which is I wanna try to consume more music, and I want to be able to do so without it being this huge inspiration or call to action. I would like to be able to just mess around and goof off with all of the gear. I have such great gear in here. I would like to be able to goof off with it without feeling like I'm wasting time. And I think these are going to be two very, very tall talent challenges. For some of you that know, and for those of you that didn't, I recently bought a game called Ace Combat, and I love that game. But when I was making, oh my god, oh Kit's gone. Oh Kit, oh why are you gone? That chord is from your song, Kit. The chord that I go, that's from, it's from Reflection Pool. That's why that chord was familiar. Anyways, wow, what a distraction. Point is, I would like to get back into the habit of doing those things, and it's going to be a very tall order for me because I recently bought the game Ace Combat. I would sit down at Ace Combat and I would be like, I'm wasting time. I'm not making music. I shouldn't be playing video games. I should be making something. I should be making money so I can afford video games that I won't play because I'm guilted into having to be productive and make money. So I go to my piano, and then when I'm on the piano and I'm like going, and I'm just like messing around with stuff, I have the same guilt of when I'm playing a video game where it's just like, what am I doing? I'm messing around. I need to like make something, make a song, something I could put on Spotify and rake in those fractions of pennies so that I can, I don't know, eat. I shouldn't be goofing around, playing video games, playing chords that don't make sense, messing around with noises. This is a thing that I have to conquer, and it's going to be an uphill battle for me. Jayla says, hello. I see I'm late again. Yes, you are 2 hours late, on the dot. Welcome to the stream, though, Jayla, or I should say the ending of it. We are going to start closing down the stream, because 2 hours is a very long time. Everybody who has been in the stream, thank you. Also, remember, I do have a song out. I have a song out called The View, named after the TV show, very popular show of the same name. I also have 2 EPs. One's called Ego Death, the other one is called Quick Breath. I talked about them at length today, and in fact, brought up the fact that these are the first 2 releases that I have where I use harmony in my vocals, where I would record my vocals and I would go back over and record harmonies for them. That is not something that I had done before, and it's something that I hope I can kind of roll into my bag of tricks for future releases. But if you want to listen to any of these things, they are available on Bandcamp, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon MP3, iTunes. I said them out of order. Tidal, Groove, Deezer, Pandora, Napster, and YouTube. We're currently on YouTube right now. If you've never seen the videos that I've made, I do make fun little videos. I have 2 playlists of them. One's called Quarantunes that has 8 songs. They were being released weekly. I'm currently on a break from them because I'm on a break from everything. And I also have some remixes on there, like Khalid's Talk. There's a remix to that on there, and also a Justin Bieber remix of that Yummy song. So yeah, check those out. I shot and recorded those videos in my bedroom, which looks very big today. Maybe I just feel small or something. I don't know what that is. No real news as far as like tours and merch and stuff like that. Hopefully you guys understand. Maddie says, oh, speaking of games, someone in the chat told me about a game called Aviary Attorney. I bought it yesterday on my Switch, and it's one of the best things I've ever played. I do remember you guys talking about this bird law game. I'm glad that you actually ended up picking it up and that you enjoy it. I've never played it. I don't have a Switch, but it sounds interesting. It sounds like it was specifically made for you, Maddie, if I'm being honest. Thank you for liking my shirt. It's got a bunch of pandas on it. Somebody else brought it up in the stream too. I bought it from Japan. Anytime I buy a shirt in another country, I always have like a weird like out of body experience when I'm wearing it. whenever I wear the shirt that I bought from abroad. There's a few shirts. There's like a couple of shirts in my closet from Leicester, England. There's a few from Korea, and then there's a few from Japan. And every time I put them on, I think, wow, this shirt's seen some things. Which is silly, right? Because all shirts, all clothes usually get shipped at some point in their life. But something about buying a thing in another country and then taking it back home, and every time you look at it going like, wow, I really retrieved you from somewhere else. Is that how British people felt about spices? When they brought back the spices? Sick. That song's called Hush Hour. I wrote it abroad, by the way. We're talking about things I brought home. I brought home the inspiration for that song from Hong Kong and nothing else. Oh my god, I had the best food in Hong Kong though, and it was free. Oh, it was free. Free food always tastes better. The airline paid for it because the strike canceled my flight, and I had to basically live in Hong Kong for a few days. And they. Oh, I guess the stream wasn't going back then. Anyways, yeah, I had really great free food, and I brought this shirt back from a place called Village Vanguard. There's also a second shirt that I got there that also has pandas on it. It also has pandas on it. I got this shirt. It's also a button-up. But the pandas are a little bit more cartoony and not very realistic, so I don't wear this one so much. You know, there's a lot of stuff in that store that felt like it was made for me. A lot of monochromatic, like, goofy shirts. Okay. Wow, airlines in America could never. They would never, Lindsay. They could, but they won't. They won't do it. Free food tastes best when you're hungry. I agree with this, Cyber. And when you're hungry, it tastes better when it's free. Shouts out to Lester. Ugh. Yeah, I love Lester. I met the wildest woman in Leicester, and there isn't a day that goes by. Well, that's a lie. I don't think about her tons of times. There isn't a month. There isn't a grouping of 4 months that goes by. There isn't a third of a year that goes by where I don't maybe think of that Leicester lady. Hope she's okay. Hope she found her boyfriend. Hope she found her boyfriend. I don't know where he is. Maybe she made him up. I hope everybody has had a good time in the stream. I hope everybody has a marvelous Wednesday. Almost said Tuesday. Wednesday ahead of them. I'll see you guys here tomorrow for stream number 155. We're getting closer and closer to an OBS stream, guys. I promise. I need to buy a mic. And I may be at Walmart today. I may or may not be at Walmart today, where I know they sell a very cheap mics. So, we may be closer than we think. We being me. What do you think the nice stream is made of? Ah. Are you asking me, Liana? Is that a real question? You don't want to hear that lady's story. She was very drunk. And she found me. She found me several days in a row. You ever been on a vacation? Vacation. You ever been abroad and you've seen a random stranger one day and then you see him again another day and then another day? And you're like, what the heck? What's going on? Anyways, I ran into some girl a bunch, and every time she like flagged me down, she would talk to me as if we were friends, and then she would always say, "Oh, my boyfriend should be here later." I was like, I don't care about you or your stupid boyfriend. Leave me alone. But I mean, that was my reaction the first time. Then the second time I ran into her, it was actually like, "Oh crap, you!" And she was at Nando's. She was like, "Oh wow, I like your jacket," because I was wearing a peacoat. She was like, "Oh yeah, blah 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 blah, unimportant stuff, unimportant stuff. Here's some British slang, unimportant stuff. Yeah, I think my boyfriend is coming later." And I was like, "Cool, I guess that's cool." And then the third time I saw her, I asked if she would take my picture in front of this like really funny statue, the picture that I still have actually. And she was like, yeah, sure, I'll take the picture. And she's like, "You want to get something to eat?" And I was like, yeah. And then we went to some place that was across the street from this movie theater. Then we got food. And then we saw that movie, The Wes Anderson one. The Grand Budapest Hotel. We saw that movie. And it was great, by the way. It was a great movie. Yeah, then we left there, and then we went to a bar, and then I asked the bartender to make me a Shirley Temple, and he laughed at me, and he was like, "What the heck is a Shirley Temple?" And I was like, "Oh, I guess that is an American thing. Like, I guess that wouldn't be a thing here." I was like, "It's like cherry grenadine and like ginger ale," and he gave me a bottle of ginger ale, and he put like cherry grenadine in a shot glass, and he was like, "I don't know. I guess just make it yourself." And I was like, "Okay." And the girl took a shot of the grenadine. She just like drank the cherry syrup, and I was like, that was mine. I paid for that." And she was like, "Oh, my boyfriend is probably gonna be here later. He'll pay you back for it." I don't I don't know what was wrong with that woman. I don't know what her deal was. I don't know. Um, yeah, but anyways, I hope she found her boyfriend eventually. I feel like I have a picture with her. I feel like I have a picture with her from the bar. I think I have a picture with her. I'm gonna try to look for that, and then like maybe in tomorrow's stream I'll like show you guys. No, there's. I'm gonna ask Diz because Diz saw her too. Diz saw. Oh wow. I think Diz liked her actually. This is unimportant. Anyways, I'll talk to my friends about this later. But um, I can't remember why I brought her up. Why did I bring her up? Lester, yes, Lester. There's a thing in Lester called a paternoster. That's an elevator that never stops. You just have to hop onto it. I've told this story in the stream. She was on it. She was on it. That's why I brought it up. Lester's an amazing place, by the way. Please go to Lester. Ugh. Guys, I'm not going to live in LA forever. Eventually, I'm just going to move to a small town in a foreign country. Oh, and I'm going to die. Ugh, it sounds beautiful. I'm just going to dry up. I'm going to shrivel up and die. And no one will be able to find me. But I'll be so happy. Alright, I hope everybody had a good time in the stream. Thank you so much for being respectful to me and polite to each other. It's the internet. Not everybody does that. I'm sorry that it takes me so long to honor recommendations as it has for Easy Doors movie recommendation. But I do try to get to the things. I do really try to get to the things. I do. But I will be here tomorrow. We're getting close to an OBS stream, so yay if you're somebody that cares about things like that. If you aren't, well, this type of stream, this thing will still happen. I'll still have the morning medleys. And I'll see you here tomorrow. 1:55, guys. 9 a.m. Thursday. Whoa. 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 Sorry. Everybody. Oh, wait. Jayla says... Oh, wait. The comment disappeared. Jayla says... Now that I know what time you stream, I'm determined to be earlier than you. Well, a few people usually beat me to the stream. A few people have been known to beat me to the stream, so... I'm open to the possibility. I'm gonna shave my beard actually, probably soon. I'm gonna leave this here for a little while longer, but Abo everybody. What am I doing? Come on, get out of here. I gotta go make breakfast.